All right, let's get going with some pinch pots. Now I'm using this self-hardening clay today. When I got to be in art school in college, and also when I taught at a brick and mortar school, we had access to a kiln. And a kiln is a really hot oven that gets up to absurd degrees. And so you could use normal clay for that and fire it in the kiln. But since I don't have a kiln at my own house, I'm going to use self-hardening clay. Now at different stores you also can buy clay that you can heat and harden in a normal oven. That's an option. But self-dry and air-dry clay is also a great option. All right. Oh, I love when I open up a new block of clay. Today I want to focus mainly on pinch pots, but that's not the only way to create things out of clay. There are so many ways, including coil methods and slab methods. Now, I'm not going to use my entire clay. I want to save it for other things. I'm just going to break off a piece and start working with it. I have some paper down. Normally I would love to have canvas down. That's the best one to work with. But I want to go ahead and start morphing my clay into a nice ball. Oftentimes clay, you can hit it on the table to get it to do what you want it to do. Because I don't want a lot of cracks. I want it to be cohesive. Especially when you're using clay that you are going to use in a kiln, you want to get all the air bubbles out, so you hit it a lot. Okay, so I have my nice little round ball, and this is the great thing about pinch pots. All you need to do is stick your thumb in the middle. Okay, there's my middle. It looks kind of funny, almost like a donut. Now all I need to do is work my hands around, and I'm going to be pinching the sides as I open up this middle to make my pot. So it is a pinch pot. So I'm going to really squeeze and work my way around. My clay is cracking a little. It's kind of older. I got this clay a long time ago, so it's a little bit old, but I can still smooth it out. I'm going to pinch around. If I start getting too big of cracks, I can kind of smush it back together. It would be nice. I actually might get some water. Like almost like slip. There's potters use something called slip where they mix clay with water and they use it almost as like a glue. But maybe these kind of cracked textures would be cool. And I'm going to pinch around. Until I widen it up. Now, that cracked a lot. That's okay. I can come in. I can get some clay. I can get some clay with water and add it in to where it started separating. I love little pinch pots because you can use them for so many different ideas. Sometimes pinch pots are left to be little pots for succulents and things like that. Sometimes they're used for other things. You can take two pinch pots, put them on top of each other, smooth them down, and create really cool things out of that, keeping your air pocket, but you obviously want to let it out. All right, now I can now choose to add in any kind of texture. So here's my pot. It's pretty loose right now. It's pretty crackly. And it's a little small. It's kind of heavy on the bottom. In fact, I can probably bridge it taller. Squeeze a little bit on the bottom to kind of even that out a little bit. Now, I don't have clay tools at home, When I used to work with clay, I did have a bunch of different clay tools, and they were so great to smooth out some of these cracks. But you also can take your finger and use it almost as like a polishing medium. So I'm smoothing some of these cracks out. I can do that on the sides too. My clay is very dry and very fragile. You can always turn it upside down and tap it. So then you're gonna have a nice flat edge on your pot. And smooth it back out. All right, I think since my clay is very old and very dry, I am going to embrace the crackle method. I might leave it textured like this. I might even draw in my own texture. What if I got the end of a pin, or look, I've got a bobby pin. What if I add more texture into it? I could draw designs. I can let there be wow, air dry clay really is so different than normal clay. It's crazy how you have to get used to new different materials. So I'm scraping a circle on the inside. I can do little indentions, almost like little dots. That's fun. So I'm gonna embrace the texture and add more. What if I do dots on the bottom? Oops, I got in front of the camera. Okay, look, I added all my little dots on the bottom of it. Isn't that cute? All right, so now I can just let this dry. If I do want it to be an actual pot, I could make some of my dots go all the way through, because if we water any plants that are coming in here, we want them to be able to have the water escape. So now when I water my plant, the water will be able to come out. All right, now I can let it dry and I'll be able to paint on top.